He was seen leaving work. He said goodbye, smiled, and took a few steps toward the exit. And within minutes, his name would appear on a missing person report. There was no chase, no screams, no signs of struggle, just a man who walked out of a building and vanished. Today, you're about to hear one of the most disturbing real disappearance cases. A story with cameras, witnesses, a precise timeline, and a clearly documented last sighting. Yet it offers no answer to the most important question. How did he disappear in just a matter of minutes? Before we begin, write in the comments. Do you believe it's possible for someone to vanish in a crowded place without help? And if you're interested in real criminal stories with no fiction, subscribe to the channel. Spring 2006, Columbus, Ohio, United States. An ordinary large American city with universities, bars, 24-hour venues, security guards, surveillance cameras, and brightly lit streets. Brian Shaffer, 27 years old, a medical student at the Ohio State University. Calm, intelligent, with no criminal history. He worked, studied, and was building a future as a doctor. The final months of his life were not easy. A few years earlier, his mother had passed away. His father struggled deeply with the loss. But Brian did not appear broken. He continued his studies, stayed in touch with friends, and went out socially. On the evening of March 31st, 2006, Brian finished his classes. At that time, school was effectively his job. He had plans to meet friends and celebrate the beginning of spring break. Nothing unusual. An ordinary night. Ordinary plans. Around 9 p.m., Brian was at home. He spoke on the phone with his girlfriend. His voice was calm. They talked about future trips and joked. There were no signs of distress. Later, he went out with friends to a bar called Ugly Tuna Saloona, located inside a popular entertainment complex near the university. It was a busy place with security and multiple surveillance cameras. Dozens of people saw Brian that night. He drank, laughed, and talked with friends. There were no arguments, no strange behavior. The key moment is his last confirmed sighting. At approximately 1:55 a.m., surveillance cameras captured Brian talking to two women near the entrance of the bar. He appeared completely normal. He was standing, gesturing, smiling. A few minutes later, he stepped away toward the exit. A security guard saw him walking in that direction. That was the last time anyone definitively saw Brian Shaffer. This detail is crucial. The bar had one main public exit, and it was covered by cameras. And Brian was never recorded leaving the building. He did not appear on other cameras. He did not use the emergency exits, at least not officially. He never returned to his friends. Minutes passed, then hours. His friends assumed he had left early. No one panicked. The next day, Brian did not answer his phone. He did not return home. A few days later, he was officially reported missing. An investigation began. Police reviewed surveillance footage. They checked all exits. They questioned security staff and employees. The facts remained the same. Brian was inside the building, but the moment he left was never captured. There were no signs of a fight, no reports of violence. His phone was turned off. His bank accounts were untouched. His passport was left at home. He simply vanished. Investigators considered multiple possibilities. The first theory was that he used a staff-only exit, but those exits typically lead to hallways and service areas, which were also searched. No evidence was found. The second theory was voluntary disappearance. But Brian did not pack belongings. He did not withdraw money. He did not say goodbye to family or friends. He had plans for school and travel. The third theory was an accident, but no clues were found outside the building. No clothing, no personal items. The fourth theory was that he did leave, but the cameras missed him. A technical failure, a blind spot, a brief moment outside the frame. But even if that happened, where did he go next? Months passed, then years. Brian's father never stopped searching. He cooperated fully with police, took polygraph tests, and gave interviews. He passed away without ever learning what happened to his son. The most unsettling part of this case is how ordinary it was. No remote forest, no empty highway, a crowded public space, cameras, witnesses, and still nothing. Over time, theories continue to circulate. One suggests Brian may have left with someone who was never captured on camera, but there is no evidence to support this. Another suggests he became disoriented, possibly intoxicated, and encountered a situation he could not escape. Again, no physical trace. Some believe he chose to start a new life. But nearly 20 years later, not a single fact has confirmed that idea. Today, the disappearance of Brian Shaffer remains officially unsolved. He is still listed as a missing person. A man was seen leaving after an ordinary night. Minutes later, he was gone, and neither cameras, witnesses, nor technology have been able to explain how. Do you think it's possible to disappear in a crowded place without help? Share your theory in the comments. If you want more deeply researched, atmospheric, real true crime stories, subscribe to the channel. Sometimes the most frightening thing isn't a crime at all. It's a person walking through a door and never coming back.